From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop CBB PrimeTime Capper, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. And man, it is a good day today. I feel like we're gonna be on to something pretty big, on to getting us some good dollars today. So pretty much, it is what it is. And lots of things on the horizon right now. So you guys already know what time it is. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Eagles Live. So let's go ahead and jump into our first topic at hand. And you know that this was probably the first head coach that was hired. Chicago did go ahead and they got to work pretty early. They had told their coach a few weeks before that he was not going to be returning next season. So right now you have Eberflus in as the coach, and he brought a lot of energy, in my opinion, to the press conference. You know, a lot of coaches, they always sound really good on press conference day and everything like that. But coach seems to have a pretty good plan here. He does inherit one of the better defenses in the NFL on paper. Now, they weren't one of the better defenses in current situations last year, especially at the end of the year. But you know what? You can't hold that against them. They did lose all-pro defensive end and elite pass rusher Khalil Mack for the season very early in the year. So they're going to bring him back around for next season, hopefully, or they may be able to shed that big money off the books as well, too. So you never know what's going to happen with the defense, but you know the defense is going in the right direction. He has a quarterback who's seen as for a right now franchise quarterback in Justin Fields. Justin Fields did create a lot of excitement at points this season. He did bring a different element to the Bears offense when he did get it clicking and, you know, scoring some points, things like that. He just needs to have a defense be able to hold their end of the bargain for him, in my opinion. So I think that Justin Fields improved as the season went along, and I think that he just has to have a really good offensive coordinator, somebody that he sits down with and really teaches him how to go through his progressions and actually execute the game plan week in and week out. And I think that Eberflus has went ahead and he's going to make sure that this is going to be absolute priority for this team. And I think that with the GM and the way that he's approaching this situation as well, too, being a very young GM, I think that they're in a good shape. They're in a good place. And Eberflus has came from a lot of good programs. Even though he was a linebackers coach for the Browns, he was one of their better coaches when he was there, and he did a great job in Indianapolis as well, too. So this looks like it could be something that works out very well for the Bears. The Bears are in prime position to take over the North next season, which will be the most open division in football next year, with Aaron Rodgers soon to depart the Green Bay Packers. So there it is with Eberflus, and pretty much let's go ahead and get into the next head coach that has been brought into the fold, and that's going to be Nathaniel Hackett. This coach was the offensive coordinator for the Broncos. Now he's going to be for the Packers. Now he's the head coach of the Broncos. So are the Broncos trying to lure Rodgers with hiring Packers OC as head coach? I think at the end of the day, they truly are, because you really have to look at this situation and tell yourself that, hey, you know what? We have a team in the Broncos who are better off with a veteran quarterback. Their last few quarterbacks were veteran quarterbacks that were successful. You know, Joe Flacco wasn't great, but Joe Flacco was pretty helpful when he was there. You know, before that, they got a ring with Peyton Manning, and then before Peyton Manning, they had Tim Tebow, and Tim Tebow was like their only rookie piece that they had, and he's probably the only rookie quarterback that worked out since John Elway. Even though his run was, he did a lot in that short time. So now you have a team in the Broncos that are going cheap on the head coach. I'll be honest with you. That's how I'm feeling, is that they're going cheap on the head coach to go ahead and save themselves from, they're doing it so they can save themselves from overpaying a coach and giving a coach way too much control. This coach is literally a robot. I hate to talk like that and say it like that, but that's what it truly is that coach is going to be a robot, okay? Because he's going to be controlled by the analytics. So he's a great offensive coordinator, but he does a good job with the analytics, just like his mentor who is in Green Bay, their head coach. So these guys play a lot with the analytical. So I think that's what Denver's looking at, a coach that can just go ahead and press the buttons and already have everything pretty much preset for them. And I think they know that's the best way to go about their offense. Now, their defense is one that could be the best in the NFL if coached up correctly. And I think that they're very close to getting there. But at this point in time right now, they're not all the way ready. But if they can add some good pass rushers here in the draft and some more back-end players as well, too, the Broncos are going to be a team that you're going to have to really reckon with. So pretty much that's what I'm looking at as well, too. So I think that this will be a good situation for us all. And, hey, I look forward to a good day here in Denver, because I know that now Denver is going to become the biggest threat in one of the bigger threats in the division if they're able to add Aaron Rodgers. And that's what a lot of us are looking at right now when it comes down to that situation. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but it looks pretty good to me. So there it is. There it is. So we move forward from there. And man, I'm telling you right now, this is some fun stuff today. All right, so pretty much we have ourselves pretty good bag with that. So we move on. Let's talk about some UCLA basketball. UCLA basketball is over here looking mighty good right now. UCLA is absolutely dominant. I didn't get to talk too much last week about what they did to Arizona, with who they absolutely crushed. And, Arizona came into that game with the idea that, it was going to be a little easy going against this UCLA team. It didn't work out like that. So, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. And that's exactly where we're going from there. I like what UCLA is doing right now. I know that Mick Cronin is not a quick starter. Okay. That's not his thing. All right. So pretty much that's not his thing. All right. So he's going to be able to get it all together when it's time to get it all together. And I think that's absolutely working in their favor right now. And I really do like that estimate. I really do like the way that they're setting up for this tournament. They've already went through a lot of the tough games, and they've proven that they're a team that's to be reckoned with. Yes, they had a pretty bad conference loss a few weeks back, but that's okay. That's okay. It was only the second loss of the season. So UCLA just really has to go ahead and conquer the elephant in the room, and that's USC. And I think if they can get past USC easily this year, then the tournament should be pretty formidable for them if they set them up correctly. But they are eyeing towards being the number one seed in the West. And I think that they'll do UCLA a couple of little favors there in that portion of the bracket as well, too. But I think UCLA is ready for all comers, to be honest with you. And I think that this team right now, today, and if you asked, are they a Final Four team? Yes, they are. Yes, they definitely are, because they're doing everything right. They're rebounding well. They're defending well. They're scoring well. They're playing together well. They're passing the ball well. And they have guys that are very dominant college basketball players at what they do best. So I do like what I see here with UCLA, and I think that they are primed for a big run in the tourney. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. But before that, you guys go ahead and check out one of our great sponsors, and that's going to be Southwest. And with Southwest, you guys can go ahead and sign up for the Rapid Rewards. It pays to fly Southwest. I'm telling you right now, Rapid Rewards is an absolute gem. If you guys are traveling a lot this year and you guys get on Southwest, you guys can go ahead and get these Rapid Rewards for as far as you're traveling. And then, you know what, when you want to take a quick little trip to Vegas or something of that nature, you can go ahead and pay for it with your points. So there it is, Southwest, proud sponsor of the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And with that, we will be right back in a few moments. And once again, this is the Primetime Angles Live.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back. And you know what? It's time to talk about the Lakers. And the Lakers, you know what? They're struggling. Let's just be honest. But you know what? Hasn't that been the whole season? Every time they're up, they looking real good. And every time they down, they really down. But so the Lakers being off for the last few days has been very helpful. Last time they played was Sunday. They won't be back until tomorrow. Actually, but it will be a home game against a team in the Blazers who are struggling right now. But the Lakers, though, are a team that was tied up at 5. They were finally hit 500 again. Now they're 24-27. They find themselves in a really, really funky position right now. The Lakers are actually at the 9 seed right now, but they're only a game back from being back into the mix of things. But you don't want to be in the playoff group, though, to be honest with you. So this game is pretty important against the Blazers, and I think that literally it's going to kind of be probably tough to catch the Nuggets, but it probably won't be that tough to catch the Mavericks, though. I think the Mavericks are probably in for another losing streak. And you know what? The Jazz have not been playing well at all. Jazz, at one point, were like 20-4. And since that point, they're 10-11. You know what I mean? So it's because you have to understand, Utah, Phoenix, and Golden State all jumped out the gate and were looking good. But Utah has been kind of backed up recently. So, you know, the Lakers are starting. But if we actually went by old rules, the Lakers will be out of the playoffs right now. Okay? So the Lakers have lost their last 7 out of 10 games. They're struggling. They, out of the group of 10 teams that are in playoff contention, the Lakers are doing the absolute worst other than Utah, okay? So the Lakers can't do anything but go up at this point. And LeBron's going to probably be out for the next week. And so the Lakers have to salvage things a little bit. They have to try to make sure that they can win at least a game or two while LeBron's out. And I think that if they can do that, then they can keep their confidence. But as I said before, this team is going to turn it on once they get out of the All-Star break. I think that the Lakers will have a full unit of players that they can trust, or they'll trade for players that can be a part of a full unit. But all in all, though, the state of the Lakers right now ain't good, okay? And I would say this, that I don't really see a championship happening. So, you know what? We don't have to talk about that anymore. But what I would like to see is better basketball. And I think that the Lakers are very capable of doing that. But you know what? Only time will tell. And I think right now is that people just pretty much didn't get what they expected. And that's what, is, got a lot of people in their feelings about a lot of things. So, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And, hey, we're going to work it out and we'll just go from there. You know what I mean? So, hey, all good and well. And I think this will all end all good and well. So, hey, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into the NBA for tonight because we have us a good night going on in the NBA tonight. And let's go ahead and start off with our first game that I have here, and that's going to be the Bucks and the Wizards tonight. The Bucks come into this game. The Bucks have been they've been a little off lately. They've been kind of slow dragging a little bit. You got the Wizards and the Bucks. The Bucks. On the other hand, though, this team is kind of running into the Wizards. Wizards have really digressed because at one point they were bragging about the Wizards being the number 1 seed. The Wizards are now the 12th place team in the Eastern Conference. But let me tell you something. The Eastern Conference is really good because you have to understand for the first time, and I think forever, they have 9 teams. All these 9 teams have winning records, okay? So if you have a couple wins below 500, you're out of this thing. But New York and Washington got off to such a fast start. Now, when you go ahead and you compare the New York start 5-1 to start the year off, since that point, they've went 19-26, okay? So I think that Washington was 8-4 at one point, and they went 15-22 since that point. So, dude, you cannot determine what a team's going to do the first 3 weeks of the season. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But I think with this one here, you have a Bucks team that's even in their last 10, and then you have this Wizards team that's lost their last 6 out of 10. So when it comes down to it, I think that this is more of an over game than anything. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I do like what I see here. So we'll move forward from there. All right. So pretty much, as you guys can see, the line tonight is plus 475 to the Wizards, minus 600 to the Bucks, minus 11.5 on the spread, over under 229.5. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. I like the over here tonight as well, too. All right. So we move forward and we go to our next game, which is going to be the Bulls and the Magic. And the Magic coming in here to play the Bulls for the final time of the season. The Bulls have dominated the series this year. They haven't even broke a sweat against these guys. They actually played Orlando at the beginning. They actually played Orlando at the beginning of last month, and then they also played them on the 23rd of last month as well, too. So they got themselves 2 wins. When they played them the first time back in January, they beat them by 4, and then they can wheel back around. And Orlando beat them by 19. But the first time around when they played them in Orlando, they absolutely cooked the Magic that day, beating them 123-88. So that was literally almost a 40-point win right there. So they've had one close game with them, and it was at home. So I think with the way that the Bulls are playing right now, they are struggling a little bit, but they do need to have a get-over game. And you know what? Orlando is actually playing much better basketball because they usually go a lot of games without winning, but they've lost only their last 6 out of 10, and same thing goes for the Bulls. But I think the Bulls are going to be a bit too much tonight. I'm going to take them with the 8.5 here. I think that this works out for us tremendously, and I think that we'll be able to get ourselves a double-digit victory tonight with the Chicago Bulls. So there it is with the Bulls and the Magic. Let's go ahead and move forward to our next game, which is going to be a Northwest game, and that's going to be between the Nuggets and the Wolves. The Nuggets coming in here as a slight dog tonight, plus 135 to the Wolves, minus 160. You have an over-under tonight of 3.5 as well, too. So I think that when it comes down to this game tonight, you have a Minnesota team that's right now 25-25 on the year. So they've been playing to their absolute, to what they are. They've just been a very middling team, but they've stayed at 500 literally most of the year. Even after, a couple little losing streaks in, good winning streaks. And see, that's the thing. They'll lose 4 in a row, win 4 in a row. See, that's how it's working out with the Minnesota as well, too. So they're really close to possibly getting to the six hole, but they are 3.5 games back as well, too, at this point. But they are the 7th seed, and then they're going against this Nuggets team that's the 5th seed at this point, and they're ahead of them by the same number I just said, 3.5 games at the 5 seed. So this is kind of a good positioning game a little bit. So I know the Denver's down slightly when it comes to roster, but I think that they still are good enough to be in this game tonight. And I think what happens here is that we wind up getting this game to go under tonight. This game doesn't go over tonight. It winds up going under. So I like the number here. It's a big number, but I think that we're going to lock up in this one. We're going to wind up getting the game to go under tonight. So there it is with the Nuggets at the Wolves, and we move forward from there. And let's go ahead and jump into this let's go ahead and jump into our next spot, and that's going to be the Warriors and the Spurs. And this game will be in San Antonio tonight. You have a Warriors team that's coming in here pretty good, playing some very good basketball at the moment. And you have this Warriors team that's playing lights out basketball at the moment. So pretty much you have the best – you have kind of two storms coming together a little bit, but I think that the Warriors are a little bit ahead of the curve. They're 38-13 compared to the 19-32 that San Antonio is rocking with. But you do have a team in the Warriors that have won their last 8 out of 10 games as well, too. So when I look at the last few games for these teams, you look at the last 5, you could say this, that the Spurs have played much better basketball in that stretch, because at this point in time, they went 2-2. They got a good win against Chicago, and they kept it close against the Suns. Also kept it close against the Grizzlies as well, too. So they lost their last 2 out of 3, but they played against 3 of the top teams in the NBA. So that's what they got coming into tonight. And then you have a Warriors team that's just absolutely cooking right now. They are on a winning streak themselves. They've actually closed out the month with a 6-game winning streak for the month of January, and actually won their last 7 out of 8 to be exact. So pretty much there it is for the Warriors tonight, that they're going to be into this one. But they're down tonight. They're going to be missing some players. I'm double checking on who's going to be out tonight, so you guys can go ahead and put this into your notes, because the thing is, that's what you have to know. When you're a team like San Antonio, you can't sit up there and give San Antonio like a credibility like that. They're a team that's not even going to make the playoffs this year. So you can't sit here and say, all right, I think that they could have a good chance to beat them. And Seth Curry is actually, his shooting's been off anyway. So yeah, he has a toe issue, but this just means guys like Jordan Poole can step up tonight. So that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm thinking on. And I think tonight that the Warriors, they're +5, so disregard what's up on the screen. But they're right now, that team is +5. I think that's a good number, and you could possibly get them to be your big dog tonight as well, too, because that number is going to go up, because people are going to really feel like without Steph tonight, the Warriors don't have a chance, and that's not true at all. So let's go ahead, see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And I like the Warriors tonight with the +5. So disregard what's going on with that. It's going to be +5 to the Warriors tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and move on and talk about which was going to be the main event for tonight, and this is going to be the Spurs and the Nets, and this will be in Phoenix tonight. The Suns did win the first matchup between these two teams, and Durant was a part of that game, but Kyrie was not a part of that game. So tonight you got KD and Kyrie, and then you have the rest of the Nets. And I think that tonight the rest of the Nets are going to absolutely step up, because this is a big game, and they kind of measure themselves against these top teams as well too, and they've done well against the top teams on the road. So I like the way that this game is setting up for the Nets tonight. I think that I wouldn't be doing too much if I make the Nets my actual dog bet of the day, because I think that this will work out for us, because there's been so many great moments with the Nets and everything like that when it comes down to the road here. So I think that we can go ahead and make some money in the spot. They're giving us some nice value tonight. And why not start off the month with a +180? I know it seems shaky, but at the end of the day, it's a national televised game. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Suns to perform well tonight. And I think the Suns are going to take advantage of that and wind up getting themselves a nice little win by 6 points. So there it is. Nets, Suns, let's roll. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break. And when I get back, we'll go ahead and talk those tickets. But first, let's go ahead and look at our sponsor real quick, Choice Hotels. Choice Hotels, you guys can go ahead and stay at their many different franchises that they do have. And pretty much Choice Hotels is a very good stay, very good quality hotels as well, too. And you know what? You can get a lot of value out of staying at these hotels when you are on the road. So there it is, Choice Hotels. Make sure you guys go ahead and take advantage of all the great rewards that they do have with the Choice Hotels privileges card. All right, so with that, we're going to be right back, and this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back, and it is what it is at the end of the day. So, and pretty much, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun tonight. We got Talkin Tickets here, and we have pretty much a lot of really good things going on with Talkin Tickets tonight, because I think that we have ourselves a very good ticket here. So we do have the primetime pick 6 tonight. It's going to be 54-1. I'm going to go with Creighton tonight with the plus 10.5. I know that they're going to UConn. They're playing against the big boys over in Stores and all that good stuff, but I think that Creighton is on to something tonight. This is a possible big upset as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We got Michigan State tonight with the money line minus 165. Road favorite. I think that it's going to be a close one, but I think they pull it out against a very stagnant Maryland team. And then we have Utah State in kind of the biggest spread of the night for the bigger schools. And I think that Air Force is just so bad on the road. I think that Utah will be able to step it up, especially with this being somewhat of a rivalry game between the two teams. And then you do have Louisville tonight going against UNC. I think that they go ahead and have themselves a pretty good night. I know that they're going through some controversy right now with the coach about to leave, but I think that Louisville should be good tonight with the plus 160 and represent us for the dog of the day in the CBB. And then we also have Texas A&M playing against Tennessee tonight. This is another upset watch game as well, too, because Tennessee might be overlooking this Texas A&M team before they play their big Saturday game. But I think tonight, though, that Texas A&M will make them work for everything possible tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it checks out. But this should be another good spot for us as well, too. And then you have Stanford tonight in their rivalry game against the boys from Berkeley. So, you know, Santa Clara versus Berkeley pretty much it's Silicon Valley versus City. So it is what it is. So I do like Stanford tonight with the -5. in that spot at home at the Farm. So there it is, 54-1 on the Stanford on the pick six ticket tonight. Single what you like. All right, we move on to the NBA Super High Five, and this is just me reassuring you what we're rolling with. We're going with the over 230 with the Wizards and the Bucks. We got the 8.5 with the Bulls tonight. We got the under 228.5 with the Nuggets and the Wolves, and then we have the plus 180 with the Nets money line, and then also we finish up with the plus 5 on the Warriors tonight, and that's going to give us a 36-1 ticket. All right, so there it is. There it is. You guys are the absolute best. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And pretty much you guys already know what time it is, man. I'll be back tomorrow with my boy Mike Abadir. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Mike has just been very busy up in Northern California, but he'll be with us tomorrow doing the show and everything like that. So pretty much you guys be ready for that. We'll be talking about the latest move with the Raiders and everything like that. Tom Brady retiring as well too. And what does this mean for the NFL moving forward? All that good stuff. So you guys make sure to tune in to the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And as I always say, if you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.